There we
Hi,
go. So
finally.
it was my phone. It was your phone that was being stubborn. It
No
was my
idea,
phone.
no idea. So great to see you.
Oh
How
my
are
God.
you?
Good. All doing good. You're glowing.
Thank you. So do you. We would love if you could, highlight and give a gist about your three books that you've written.
Okay. So the story between my books, because when I started, I started as a writer. I used to write a lot for magazines and, publications. And then I studied fitness and I got to be a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And I trained for about 19 years. And in that 19 years, I also set up a gym, which I had for 7 years. And then there came a turn in my life where I felt that, fitness is not what people are practicing. It's not just, your gym or your food on your plate or about just looking good. And I decided to stop the personal training and stop. I shut my gym down only to get on this path to educate people the right way to health and wellness and fitness, the right way to have a healthy mind, a healthy body, healthy life, happiness in every way. And what better way is through reaching larger numbers through books, through writing books, because they don't cost much. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of
Yeah.
passion to go into book writing. And but I did it only with the purpose of educating people the right way, because not everybody can afford a gym or not everybody can afford a trainer, but through a
Correct.
book, through writing, through wellness blogs that I write every Saturday, you can educate people in lakhs and lakhs and lakhs.
Yes.
And that was my agenda. So I wrote my first book 10 years ago, which when Random House approached me, a really close friend now of mine, Millie, she's really a good friend of mine. And I took a few months to decide what the concept was, because I didn't want to write a book, just another book on the shelf. So at that time I just about had my gym. It was the last year, seventh year of my gym. And I was thinking of a concept of this first book. And I said, a lot of my clients come to me stressed, and they always stress, and I put them through yoga, or there was a spa there was a physiotherapist, there was workouts, and they go back really happy, and without any
Mm-hmm.
heaviness or burden with
Correct.
that stress that they've come with. But the next day or 2 days later, they would come back with stress in their lives again, some other issue, fight
Yeah.
with boyfriend, or staff leaving, or cook run away, or I have no driver today, or the bus has come late, or my boss has screamed at me, or I'm not happy with my job. And it was non-stop. I'd become this agony aunt, this shoulder to cry on. And I said, I'm going to write a book on stress. So my first book was called I'm Not Stressed, and that was a national bestseller within a month, because I
Yeah.
connected stress to what it does to the skin, what it does to your hair, what it does to the heart, what it does to the body, what it does to your mind, what it does to fertility, how women can't conceive because they're highly stressed all the time, and so much more. And that book really did well. Then I was ready 4 years later to write a second book that was called Shut Up and Train, which is a complete guide for men and women. So, all you
Yeah.
fitness enthusiasts, trainers, fitness experts, it's like a fitness Bible. You can gain a lot of knowledge reading that book. It's a very heavy book. I mean,
Mm.
it's boring because it's a lot of knowledge there. A lot of
But
knowledge.
I
You need
think
to
it's very
study it
important.
up.
Yeah.
It's a lot of practical, a lot of theory, and a lot of sense. You need to study that book up. So that I decided I needed to give it out to society. I need to give them, my way of thinking, what fitness is, what nutrition is, what yoga is, what the importance of sleep. I give sleep a lot of importance.
Yeah.
And there was a whole chapter on sleep, and there's so much more in that second book. And then the third book released, which is really close to my heart, which you can see
Yes, it's
behind.
back there.
Yeah, which you can see behind, which is something that I've been practicing for 15, 18 years. And I was ready to write. I said, now that I've written a book on stress and guiding people how to de stress, I've written a guide, on fitness, nutrition, workouts. I'm against, unnatural stuff, fat burners, steroids, anything processed. It's all in the second book. I'm against all of that. I live life very naturally, very organic. Everything that I eat is all organic. It's all grown, very rarely from a packet. I like to eat everything fresh. seasonal. We can come to that later. So the third book is something that is called postmodern nutrition, which is these 13 aspects in your life that you need to seek balance to be happy and healthy lifelong. And secondary in the book is nutrition and diet. It is very important. Nutrition is important.
Yeah.
But I saw that the world was obsessing with diets. And I said, I'm going to write this book and put it out there because how much ever you diet, if you have stress in your life and you have these 13 aspects in your life that are not in balance, if you're not happy with your career, with your relationships, with your home environment, your home cooking is not perfect, you're cooking with all the bad masalas or bad oil,
Yeah.
no matter how fit you are or how much you eat on that diet, you're not going to be happy and healthy lifelong. So I help you balance those 13 aspects in the third book. And it's doing really well because that is wellness. Wellness is a broad spectrum. It's not just your food on your plate or your workouts. It's so much more. It's your state of mind, your happiness, is your home environment happy? Is it, are you in a toxic relationship? Are you in a job that you're not happy with? There's so much that you need to deal
Correct.
with. And if you don't know how to deal with that, how can you be a fit person in the mind and body? So that's the third book. So if you put
Yeah.
all three books together, they're all very different. They all
Yes.
educate you in different ways, and it's all very educational, very intelligent books. It took me a year and a half to write each book, and it's out there, and people
Yeah.
should read it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great. Sometimes people just follow blindly. Like if a person is doing certain thing, they just follow blindly without going in depth of health and wellness. So it's very beautiful to read and actually practice all of it.
Yes, and people don't like to read, but if they could, and they would get ill and then spend money on medicines and doctors. So if to spend money on a book that costs 200-300 rupees and you
Correct.
self-educate yourself with intelligent books, this is the way to go. Just have some patience, read 1 page a day, read half a page a day,
Correct.
but write points down, mark that book, follow that, and see how it changes your life. It does change your life. Yeah.
Correct. Yes, yes. And definitely we can take like a few time out of a day just for ourselves, for our fitness. Yeah. So,
Yes.
second up, I would love if you could, mention how important it is for a woman to fit and strong. Yeah.
To stay fit and strong, it's very important. We are the new men. New
Correct.
men. Yeah. So, woman has man in it, man in it. So I believe we give birth to boys, to girls. Men can't give birth to children. So we
Correct.
are housewives, we are friends, we are mothers, we are daughters, we are career women, we hold our homes together, and
Yes.
so much more. And we have to be mentally fit in the mind and body, and physically fit, and emotionally very fit.
Yes.
Emotionally very fit, because we have to handle so much more multitask, and we manage to do it. We
Yeah.
can take pain, we give birth to children, and our threshold of pain is really high, and there's so much more. And it's so for women to be mentally strong, there are many ways. Of course, we all hear of yoga,
Yeah.
meditation. Mental health is so important. So anything that gives you stress, you need to keep away. How much ever you fear, keep that stress away from your life. Self love for your mental health and wellness. Self love is not selfish. You need to think of yourself first. And thinking of
Yes.
yourself first, I don't mean manicure, pedicures, and these kind of things. Thinking of yourself first is my me time. I have this 2 hours a day that I will go to the gym, and I will have my phone off, and nobody's going to disturb me. I'm going to give that time to myself. It's not being selfish. When I can be there for myself, mentally, physically, emotionally, fully, I can be there for my family, for the best version of myself to the world, and for the best version of myself for myself.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
self love is really important, and self love is where your mental state of mind can become, at peace. And the physical health comes from your workouts, your yoga, whatever workout you like. You don't have to go to a gym. I started signature workouts. I started all these
Mm.
workouts in the house. You can do whatever you like. You like cycling, you like running, you like swimming, you like dancing. Do whatever you want, but make sure you move around. Move
Yeah.
around, be mobile. People are sitting from the couch to the chair to the desk to their car back to their bed during this pandemic. And they're getting a lot
Yeah.
of backaches and a lot of hip flex issues and knee issues and a lot of, so basically, for the physical health and wellness, a lot of movement, a lot of workouts, a lot of breathing, whatever floats your boat. You just need to feel good about yourself. If you're not
Yeah.
feeling good, there's something wrong. And the emotional health and wellness comes from keeping yourself emotionally strong, comes from when you can control your anger, when you can control your emotions and not let your emotions control you. you know
Yeah.
um, if you're angry or you're sad or you're overwhelmed or happy, uh, if you can control your anger and tell that person, okay, I will sleep it out and I will talk to you when I'm in a calm state of mind. If you can do that, that means you're in a healthy emotional state of mind, and body. So to get to that, there are a lot of other factors. Like I said, stress has to not be in your life. It could be stress in your career, in your relationships, in your home environment, financial stress. Maybe you have stress education wise. There's stress that comes in many ways. Health. Stress comes with health. So you need to first, when you read the third book, you need to sort out those aspects in your life. And when you get happy and healthy in all those aspects in your life, you'll be so emotionally strong that when somebody tries to point
Oh.
fingers at you and make you angry or criticize you, it will not affect you. You'll just say,
Yeah.
let it be. You don't get affected by criticism. You don't get affected if somebody's getting angry. You don't seek validation from society. You don't care what
Yeah.
society says. You are confident and so emotionally fit in the mind, body, and soul, and emotionally and mentally, that nothing affects you because you know your worth and you know you're a good person and you know that you're just clean and positive and harmless. So and nothing can
Yeah.
can move you. So that
Yeah.
comes from the emotional strength of a woman. So women have to be all rounders, and it's possible.
Correct.
I've done it. My mother's done it. Your mother must have done it. Our
Yeah.
grandmothers did it. It's possible. It's possible.
Correct.
So yeah, women
Definitely.
need to be
Yeah.
strong. Yeah, all rounded. Strength is needed.
Yeah. So yeah, women actually like goes through every role, performs every role, and in a beautiful way. So yeah. So
Also,
also,
I can mention before
yeah,
we go to the next question, but it doesn't mean that you take nonsense from anybody. No physical abuse is meant to be taken. No toxic relationships are meant to be taken. Anybody stressing you out, don't fear. Have the guts to seek advice, seek professional
yeah,
help, talk, have your voice it out. Voice it out. I've given tips in my book how to talk, how to create eye contact, talk quietly, calmly, as
wow.
opposed to talking in an angry way. So this third book is beautiful, and everybody must read it. It's really a beautiful book. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as I was asking, like past few years, so many people have been hit by COVID. Thousands of people have gone through that. So would you like to say something about what we can do as a post-COVID care? Like
Okay,
any
so
tips?
today so basically when COVID hit, I started doing a lot of research because when people would get COVID, I realized they were jumping into workouts really soon, and I was a little uneasy. I said, this is a disease that is to do with inflammation.
Yeah.
Inflammation takes time to heal. You need to respect this disease. You come out of COVID, you can't expect to just jump back because the disease is going to get you. It's going to affect your organs, and there's a lot of post-COVID care that's needed. So I've written some points here. I'm going to read from my points
Yeah.
because this is from my research that I do because I talk a lot about post-COVID care. And Like I mentioned, the disease comes with inflammation, right? And it takes time to recover. Too much of exercise too soon after post COVID can be harmful. But too
Yeah.
much of time without exercise also is also harmful as well. Because it makes you lethargic, so some people don't work out at all. And that is
Yeah.
bad, right? So you need to strike a balance between both. So I've come up with a four-step approach, right?
Mm-hmm.
This four-step approach is for those who have had mild to moderate COVID 19. Yeah. Patients who have ongoing symptoms, who have had severe COVID 19 or a history of heart complications, they need further assessment. I can't assess them, right? So, people who have underlying conditions like diabetes or co, they need to take further assistance by a doctor.
Yeah.
These four steps that I've written down is for people who had mild to moderate COVID. A balance is needed always. So the first 2 weeks, light intensity exercises are needed. Beginning with low intensity exercise for at least the first 2 weeks. The first 7 day phase is extremely light intensity activity with flexibility and a lot of breathing exercises. Activities might include household tasks, light gardening, walking,
Yeah.
light strengthening exercises, stretching, and a balance of yoga and breathing exercises. Because, with COVID, it affects the lungs. So it's all done in a very mild way. The first 7 days, very light intensity. Phase two should include 7 days of light intensity activities such as walking, light yoga, and you can increase it 10 to 15 minutes per day.
Mm-hmm.
At these two levels, a person should be able to hold a full conversation without difficulty during the exercise. As in, you're talking while you're walking and you shouldn't be able to be out of breath. If you know you're out of breath the second week, then you know you have to go slower with your walks or
Yeah.
your yoga. This
Just
is the
hear your
second
body.
phase. Yeah,
Yeah.
second week. Phase three may include intervals of 2 5 minute blocks of brisk walking. So you
Mm-hmm.
can walk brisk walking 5 minutes, go slow, and then again walk 5 minutes of brisk walking. You can go up and down your steps, you can jog, you can swim, or you can cycle. Patient should be able to hold a conversation during the activities. Patient should allow an interval per day as tolerance allows. As in, you have to take it as it goes the third week. You
Yeah.
add on 15 to 20 minutes of your exercise and 5 minutes brisk walk, stop. 5 minutes brisk walk, stop. If you feel you can't hold that conversation and you're not getting
Mm-hmm.
out of breath, then you go slow.
Yeah.
It's very important to pay attention to your body. Phase four movement should challenge coordination, strength, and balance. As in, you can lift your weights by then. You can do a lot of balance moves through yoga. Running, like shuffling, running. So you want to
Yeah.
check your coordination. You can shuffle up and down, like your zigzag running, backward
Yeah.
running, forward running. This phase can include body weight exercise. All your body weight, which is yoga, also body weight, squatting, push
Yeah.
ups, all of that, circuit training. But the exercise should not feel hard. This is just third week and you've just recovered from COVID. If it's feeling hard, then you have to step back and go a little lighter. In any of these phases, patients should monitor for any inability to feel recovered at an hour after the exercise. After 1 hour of phase three, if they feel they're not recovering, if they're
Yeah.
getting an abnormal breathlessness, abnormal heart rate, excessive fatigue, or lethargy, then they know that they have done a little too much. Then they have to back off and maybe
Yeah.
go to phase two and go very slow and steady. Right? Take
Yeah.
your time. Your body is not a machine. It's a live, living organism. And it's just recovered from a deadly disease. You need to go back to phase two and go slow and steady. There's no hurry to jumpstart. If any of these signs occur, the patient should return to an earlier phase and seek medical advice, of your doctor. After completing the four phases, patients must be ready to return to their pre-COVID. After your four phases are over, right? Did I go through the fourth phase?
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah,
did.
yeah. So when you finish these four phases, your patient should, however, uh, get back to pre-level activity, which should be around 70 to 80%. You reach back to what you were before, right? So that 70 to 80%, you're still not fully back. So you still need to take it slow and steady. You need to take a lot of caution. Recovery might take longer for certain patients. It might be, slower or faster for certain patients. You need to listen to your body and be in touch with experts like us or a doctor. Stretching helps a lot during these phases. Breathing helps a lot. Yoga helps a lot. And walking. These are the four simple things that help a lot. You don't need to jumpstart and go heavy into a workout the first four phases. Right? Walking is most beneficial.
Yeah.
Breathing, because your lungs need that breathing strength. All kinds of breathing exercises. You know what? Pranayama breathing,
Pranayam.
alternate nostril breathing, all the yogic breathing. It's really, really important. 10 weeks since the first symptoms, the patients reported being up to 70% of pre-COVID fitness. So like I said, into your 10th week, 70% you get back to your fitness levels, right? It's not fully back. This is 10 weeks later. Now you hear of patients in 2 weeks they're running on the treadmill. In 3 weeks they're running on the treadmill, and you hear of extreme cases of people getting heart attacks. It's because you need to give your body a lot of care, slow and steady. At 10 weeks, you're at 70% capacity. So you still need to get to 100%. It still takes more time. And last but not the least, most important, if patients have severe COVID-19 and if they have cardiac issues, right? Uh, they have to do all of this under a COVID center cardiologist or their cardiologist. They have not to do this under any fitness trainer or any kind of expert. It has to be under a cardiologist if they've had any heart
Yeah.
issues. If patients are not able to return to their baseline exercise activity or have any kind of chest pain, they should get evaluated by a doctor. Severe chest pain, heart racing, palpitations, uh, need to go to a post-COVID clinic or to a cardiologist ASAP. So that's why I do a lot of research, because you hear of
Yeah.
extreme cases of people getting heart attacks and running back to their workouts. They're worried that they are putting on weight. That is should be the least of your worry, weight gain. It should be
Correct.
your health, because it's a deadly disease. You need to respect it. You can't misuse that disease because it's attacked your body, it's attacked your lungs. It's people need to go on blood thinners. There's so much more that research that I've done on this. So these are the four phases. If you can save this video, I will save it also as well.
Yes, yes,
And
definitely will.
and you need to post it out there because people need to, and always under guidance of a doctor,
Yeah.
always under, because this is your health, so it's really, really important. And it worries me a lot because I see I'm a gym person. I see a lot of people who 4 weeks have recovered from COVID, and they're running on the treadmill and they're lifting heavy weights, and I always have to tell them, go slow. There's no hurry. You have your life. Slow and steady. Be loving to your body. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And I'm pretty sure it would be helpful for so many people.
Yes.
This, yeah. So also accept the fitness and the training, physical workout that we do. We usually say that we are who we eat. So I would love if you could, highlight some diet tips. Not exactly diet, but a healthy diet, how to maintain that. Few tips.
Okay. So basically, I don't believe in diets,
Yeah.
because if you read the third book, it explains to you scientifically why diets don't work. And, if you come from different backgrounds, you'll eat differently. You eat differently on weekends, weekdays. You eat differently when you're stressed. You eat differently when you've not slept. You eat differently if you're an Italian or, from Africa or from India. You have different cuisines in India. Gujarati would have different preferences. A Muslim would have, different preferences. A Christian girl like me would have different preferences. We have upbringing and food preferences. Our taste buds are different. Different
Yeah.
people have different choices. Some people are veg, some are non-veg. Some men and women eat differently. We eat differently when we are young. We eat differently when we are middle aged. We eat differently when we are old. So how can diets work, right? So I don't
Yeah.
believe in diets. So basically, to cut a long story short, I believe in plant-based diets. What is plant-based? You have to have a lot of vegetables, a lot of greens in whatever you eat.
Yes.
If you like to eat rice, okay, the healthy version is brown rice, that mota chawal, husk rice, red rice, black rice, add a lot of vegetables to it. If you like noodles, if you don't want to have the atta noodles that are unhealthy, there's rice noodles, soba noodles, zucchini noodles, so many forms of healthy noodles. Add a lot of vegetables to it. So I just, whatever you eat, you have your dal is protein, add a lot of vegetables to it. So I have this policy that, just add vegetables to everything. People
Yeah.
don't like to eat vegetables, but just add it in your food to everything, then you have no choice but to eat it. If you
Correct.
can eat it, when when half cooked and half kacha, like, so that's the best way to eat it, half raw. So you don't want to overcook it because all the nutrients
Mhm.
go. Yeah. So plant-based diet. If you want to eat anything that's freshly grown and out of your garden or farm, nothing processed, nothing in a box.
Yeah.
If it's in a box, okay. If it's frozen and it's just new and frozen, like few days, then it's okay to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Seasonal, eat everything seasonal. Mangoes in season, eat it. Don't listen to people if they say mangoes are fattening,
Yeah.
bananas are fattening. Don't listen. I eat potato. I'm a big carboholic, so I love potato, sweet potato, and I can't. So I eat my potato. So potatoes
Mhm.
have its own nutrients.
Yeah.
People say eat eggs, but don't eat the yellow. Yellow is very high in B12, B vitamins. So I eat the
Yeah. We
yellow.
usually
So
hear that.
yeah, yeah.
Eat
So
egg
these are
white.
all, yeah, these are all, things that are all man-made. Why is
Mhm.
that potato grown? It's grown uh, for us to eat it. I mean, and if it's grown in healthy soil, organic soil, it's all the more healthy. So you need to strike a balance on your food choices on what you like. It depends on, you don't need to put extra oil on unhealthy oil. You can put a little bit of
Mhm.
oil, a healthy version of an oil. There's a balance on how you eat. The
Yeah.
right mix of proteins, carbs. People give carbs a bad name. Carbs, you
Mhm.
need to eat carbs to eat for energy. I get all my energy from carbs, but eat carbs the healthy carbs, like the healthy rices, the healthy sweet potato, and the good
Yeah.
carbs that you
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to eat. Yeah, sourdough bread. I don't eat white bread, so I have sourdough bread, which is a healthy option of a bread. So you always switch for healthy options,
Yeah.
non-processed foods, organic for regular foods. If you want to eat like I said, white bread, go for sourdough or a multigrain bread. So always opt for the healthy options. So
Mhm.
that's, yeah, my tip to
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I think every nowadays everywhere we can substitute and have a favorite food, but in a healthy way. So
Yes.
yeah, correct. So next up, I would love to ask. Nowadays, we all have busy schedules, and we have such hectic lives. Not only adults, but also like children. Children are also very running here and there. So, what do you do like as an activity which keeps you relaxed and like a therapeutic activity that you do?
I like alone time, and
Mm-hmm.
I progress and I focus more, and I'm the best version of myself when I'm alone. Of course, my workouts, my yoga, they all rejuvenate me, but I need to be alone with nature. When I
Yeah.
go to a place that has a lot of trees and jungle, forest, and fresh air, whether it's the mountains or the beach, I need to just be alone in that fresh air for a few days. And that's where I like to do my yoga, meditation, eat healthy food, read, and just be alone away from my regular routine. And
Mm-hmm.
that rejuvenates me, gives me a lot of energy, a lot of clarity, a lot of focus to go back to my life that's routine and very responsible life. I'm responsible for a lot of people around me, my children, my husband, friends, my mother, my career, people that I'm educating. So to be so healthy in the mind and body, you need to learn to be alone with yourself, not dependent, like I can't fly alone, I can't sleep alone, I can't travel alone, I can't go on a holiday alone. I have
Yeah.
learned to adapt being alone from a very, very, very young age. And that is what makes you very strong, because you don't
Correct.
depend on anybody for company. You don't depend on anybody for anything except yourself. And that gives you, if you're trying to understand what I'm trying to say, yeah.
Yeah.
So that gives me a lot of energy and I rejuvenate, but I need to be in nature. I need to be with
Mm-hmm.
fresh air, nature. It could be Kerala, detox, eating Ayurvedic food, going on a trek, but I do it alone. And that's
Yeah.
what rejuvenates me. And I come back into a city like Bombay. Bombay is a very stressful city.
Yeah.
Everybody's so stressed here. And then I can take on, bring it
Yeah.
on, bring on any kind of issues, because I've come back rejuvenating myself in such a beautiful way, my mind, body, and soul, that I can deal with it, with all the people around me and their issues and their problems, and, very clean, focused way. Yeah.
Correct, correct. And as you mentioned that you love nature and you love being there, is there like some destination that you really love and you visit there quite often?
Of course, I go very often to Maldives because I love the beach.
Yeah.
And brine water, sea water is very healing. If you
Mm-hmm.
get a cut also and you go and just lie in the sea water, it heals, easily.
Um,
Just lying in salt water is very therapeutic. It's very healing. And then a lot of my meditation is done watching the sunset, sunrise, a lot of yoga on the beach. So my most frequent destination is Maldives. I mean, I'm a beach person. So I
yeah.
go to a lot of beach destinations, yeah. So yeah, I love Maldives, of course, and I love traveling in general, and I love traveling more than cities. Like I said, I love to be in nature, whether it's
Me.
mountains, jungles, forest. We went to the farm at San Benito in Philippines. It's a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
detox center. It's a health center. It's all amongst, hills and mountains, and
Yeah.
it's 2 hours away from the city. So anything that's in nature is what I love.
Correct. And I think as you post on social media, a lot of people get inspired and want to just take a little break and have their own time as surrounded by nature. Usually, Indian mothers, after experiencing motherhood, they forget themselves and take someone else their priority and keep themselves down. So I would love if you could, highlight on how important it is to take care of ourselves first and then our family and everyone.
It's the most important thing. Guys, I'm a mother of two
Mhm.
kids and they're hands off. I have to be, even when Alana's in LA, she calls me, she needs this, she needs that. Being a mother is a lifetime responsibility. You have to
Yeah.
always be there for your children. You have to be there for your grandchildren later and your great grandchildren. And you want to
Correct.
be. I lost my grandfather at the age of 102. And
Oh.
he died of old age. He didn't die of
Mhm.
any diseases. Nothing, no medical history. He died of old age. We're supposed to go up away from this earth up to heaven. I say heaven, I'm a good person. So, out of old age, people today are dying out of diseases, heart problems, a lot of issues.
Yeah.
The body is not supposed to die of that. You're supposed to just go away out of old age, maybe just shut your eyes and that's it. And that's what my dream is, to be like my grandfather. I want to just, in my sleep, shut my eyes, no diseases, no issues at the age of 102. I want to be the most coolest great grandmom, grandmother, mother to my kids. So, with that, self care comes first. You have to look after yourself. It's not selfish. Your workouts, your yoga, your me time. I would take 3 or 4 days of my holiday alone.
Yeah.
Even if it's, you can't go out of Bombay, even if it means wherever you can spend alone time, do things that you love, what you love, the career choice that you love, the people that you want to hang around with, the music that you want to, whatever, you have to come first. Because as
Yeah.
women, we need to be very strong mentally, physically, emotionally. If we don't look after ourselves first, how are we going to be the best version for our children and for our husbands
Yeah.
and for our friends and for the world? We're going to be highly stressed. And when you're stressed, you gain weight. When you gain weight, you go towards food. When you go
Yeah.
towards food, it's a vicious cycle starts. And then you start gaining weight. And you wonder why, as a mother, a mom, career woman, why are you gaining weight? Because you're taking stress with areas of your life that you can eliminate. You don't need it.
Mhm.
You can just boil it down to 5 things that what are my priorities? These are my 20 priorities. Now the first 5 is what you should do. The other 15 just delete. This is what I believe. Your first 5 priorities might just be, okay, this is my career, this is what I've always dreamt of doing. Follow the first 5 priorities, and the next 15 delete and leave it for later till these first 5 get over. So to all the women out there, self-care is very important. Look after yourselves mentally, physically, emotionally. Make sure your medical tests are all very good. Just being skinny thin doesn't matter. It's you have to feel good about yourself. You have to feel healthy. Your skin should glow. You should feel good. You should feel, no or depression and mental health, and that is what matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. And I think, especially for women, everyone is connected through them at
Yes.
house or office, at work, anything. So, yeah, it's very
Yes.
important to take care of ourselves. Correct.
Yes. Very important.
So, we just come to an end. It was lovely talking to you, first of all, and we love your
Thank
energy. I could feel through screens. It was
you.
amazing talking to you.
Thank you. But
Thank you.
yeah, just any
Yeah.
questions you guys who joined in can DM midday, DM
Yes.
me, and we will answer all your health related questions,
Yeah.
health related wellness, fitness questions. I'm ever ready to be there for you guys. But till then, stay healthy, stay positive, stay happy. And Shreya, thanks for inviting me for this because it's good to educate people out there.
It,
Yeah.
it's our honor to have you here.